tired of filling out applications that I just sent a short email to the head of the department. It said, "I've never done custodial work, but I can damn sure do it." I started my new job at Haven for Hope on March 16th, 2010. It was right around the same time that the San Antonio Current article came out. It was called Buddha Under the Bridge, Street Meditation and Homelessness. It was really a great article, and the reporter did a wonderful job describing what I was trying to do down there at the time. And I still get emails from people about that article because it's online. So here we are today. HMP is doing 3 meditation groups a week at this wonderful new facility. We have the use of 2 beautiful chapels, and to date, I know 3 people who have been affected deeply enough by these groups to have chosen Buddhism as a life path. A defining moment in the life of HMP happened on July 16, 2010, when I was able to witness my wonderful teacher, Lama Tuku Sori Rinpoche, performing the sacred Tibetan black hat dance for the staff and residents. He was on campus for 3 wonderful days doing teachings and empowerments. It was an extremely emotional time for me as I watched folks falling in love with the man I had been telling them about this whole time. He is a true living example of humbleness, compassion, and fortitude. And now it seems we have come to another exciting juncture. I've been asked by my teacher to go to India, along with several of his senior students, to receive a blessing from the Dalai Lama. We are going to Varanasi, the place where Buddha preached that very first sermon I discussed earlier. We're going to see the very spot where he first turned the wheel of Dharma. I'm sure we're going to see other holy sites, but the important thing is we're going to go into a 2-week meditation retreat with my Lama. Now, I've asked my teacher on several occasions over the years to allow me to take certain vows with him that would make me something like an ordained Buddhist minister. In actuality, there's really more to the vows than that, but it's kind of hard to explain right now. But to say the least, it is a very serious thing to be acknowledged into your teacher's lineage and to carry the responsibility of representing him and Tibetan Buddhism as a whole. And up to this point, when I've asked him about taking those vows, he has politely declined my offer. But when he was here in July, I asked him again, and he said, "I really want you to come to India. I want to talk to you about this there." So needless to say, my plane leaves on January 9th, and I don't come back until February 4th. If I am accepted and ordained, there will be so much more I can do in the homeless community as far as ceremonies, acknowledging refuge vows, and other things. We're going to fly to Delhi and then go to Varanasi. And then for Varanasi, I hear that it's a 9-hour bus ride to Mainpat, India, which is where this Tibetan refugee camp is. And I hear it's one of these double-decker buses that you see in the movies, you know, where people are jumping on it as it's still moving. And I talked to a guy in India, and he said the bus is so crowded with people that, like, you'll look beside you and you might see a yak holding a chicken, you know, or you might see a guy holding a pig out the window, or you might see a pig holding a guy out the window. You don't know. All I know is I'm going to be on this bus for 9 hours, and so I'm excited about it. So I'm on the last leg of my race, and on a custodian salary, I've been able to come up with my passport, visa, and my airline tickets. I'm still going to have to raise about $1,100 more to pay for my food and housing there, but I'm at peace with that because the miracle will come. I hope to come back with better skills and more knowledge to share with my friends at Haven. I would also like to help those like-minded people that have approached me about starting HMP groups in their own cities. In closing, I want to tell you about a friend of mine that lives on campus. I guess he's in his early 20s, and although he's completely blind, he seems to find his way to the meditation groups. A couple of weeks ago, he called me over and he said in an excited voice, "You want to see my meditation rocks?" And I said, "Of course." So he reached into his pants pocket and he pulled out 3 ordinary-looking stones. "Here, hold this one," he said proudly. "It's a petrified shark's fin." "And here, look at this one. It's an unpolished diamond." "And the last one, here, look, it's an Indian rock. You use it to find water when you're thirsty." So I looked them over and I handed them back and I thanked him for letting me see them. And then his face lit up again and he says, "You know what? I got something for you." And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls something out. He says, "I want you to have this, Kiley. It's extremely rare." And he places it in my hand and he whispers, "It's a wish-fulfilling jewel." Folks, it's just a normal, everyday peach seed. He must have found it on the ground and knew that it was quite different from all the other rocks. Of course, there's a spiritual lesson here. It has something to do with looking out at this peach seed world and instead seeing something wonderful. It is said that once a monk walked up to Buddha and demanded to be shown the 2 of heaven. Suddenly he found himself with Buddha in a jeweled kingdom of light. It was almost too beautiful for his natural eyes to look at. He started to weep. He saw jeweled trees and jeweled grass and even a jeweled sky. The land was filled with the most interesting beings, and they were whole and complete and content, and they were all perfectly emanating with the light of divinity. But all too soon he was back in the marketplace with Buddha. Still weeping from the experience, he screamed, "Why did you bring me back?" And gently, Buddha took him by the face and said, "I assure you, monk, we never left this place." Buddhism teaches that the difference between heaven and hell is only a point of view, our perception of things. Throughout my years of being a drunk, getting arrested, doing drugs, causing my wife all kinds of problems, causing my family, my parents all kinds of problems, my wife leaving with our kids, and all the other damn fool mistakes that I've made, I was struggling in hell. I never expected to meet the love of my life and soulmate, Diane. I never dreamed that the relationship with my children would be repaired and that they would choose to come live with me. I never thought that I would be the student of such a great humanitarian and teacher like Lama Tuku Sori Rinpoche, and I never thought that my life would be dedicated to working in the homeless community. And I certainly never thought that I'd be going to India. But interestingly enough, I assure you, monks, I have never left this place. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.